Yo, what is good, everybody? What is good, yo? Fairy Tale. I honestly can't really tell you what I expected from Fairy Tale. I have had the liberty of reading, I want to say the end, I want to say three chapters towards the very end of Fairy Tale, but then I gave up on it hearing on the news that this series was coming back, even though there is something that this anime is not going to cover, which is something that kind of gets into spoilers, so I'm not going to get into that. But with this week's episode, things turned super dark, super quick for Lucy and not too unhappy. Simply because Natsu's an idiot, of course. We always gotta know, and we always gotta remember, Natsu is an idiota. Um, Other than that, everything was going according to plan. Even Happy was working along with the plan. We had we had Lucy getting her panties shown by, she was showing Happy and Natsu and not caring about it because she's just grown into being so strong. And this man Natsu screams at the top of his lungs after sneaking in. Mind you, they didn't break in and rush in because they wanted to be discreet. So what does he do as soon as he gets inside? This man screams his head off. um, I don't understand Natsu, never have, but at the same time, I have never hated this character because he's such an idiot in his own unique way that once he starts to just find his way into your heart in the sense of you actually allow him to not become a hated character to you, um, it's just overall funny. I mean, even in some of the overall storytelling where you're like, Natsu can't be stopped, and they put him in a situation where he's very stoppable. I always admire that of a storyteller because some people don't like to have to think about drawing a character in a corner, so they sometimes don't. And Natsu is someone who's been drawn into maybe a bit too many corners and gotten out. But that's just what the show has become at this point. I think if you're a true fairy tale fan or just someone that likes the animation and the fights and overall some of the characters, I think you understand that aspect of the whole story narrative. So knowing that Gray comes in and straight up bodies, uh, he's pretty much bodying everything that Natsu has already brought to the table. He's brought all of these fire moves that he's pretty much one-shotted people equal to quote unquote Gray. Excuse me. And to know that Natsu is going in, taking out these people, and then because Gray comes in and actually can stall him for them to recover and to be able to use magic correctly and be able to focus and whatnot, it changed the tide of the battle so freaking quickly that we're looking at Natsu and Lucy and Happy completely, under their women stuff, which worked out in Gray's favor because I mean he clearly was undercover. Even what's her face kind of found. I always forget the girl's name that Gajil is with, but both of them and Panther Lily, they're really kind of just discussing what they would do if it comes to terms that they actually had to fight Gray and things like that. But at the same time, they actually made it sound like in the position that they were in, and actually, just hearing that alone that Gray's in there and that they would have to fight him if necessary, uh, it drawed me to a point of like, oh, okay, Godzilla, he's still just badass. He don't care who's in the way. He's going to walk through you, regardless of tides that you have and whatnot. So to know that he was about to do that was pretty awesome. but at the same time, the overall saving grace of this episode, not only did Gray truly show us true colors and save Lucy when she was about to be in the freaking Goblin Slayer torture scene, pretty much, and then it switched from being a torture scene to pretty much just death. Uh, Gray saves that day, but that's not even the highlight. Him handing over the cell phone and hearing the voice of Urza, man, that was magical. And to know that she's the one who's working with Gray, it just makes it that much greater to know that somehow, some way, those two didn't separate. And it also kind of draws the point of where where does that leave, or what does it lie for Juvia, if Gray's been overall working out all these situations with Urza, clearly behind cover, to not give away any suspicions that he's working with anybody. But it kind of also tells us that he went out of his way to help a true friend, a true comrade, and to leave Julia the way he did, uh, probably making sure she doesn't get involved in this situation and clearly could die to one of these people. I think that was a good way to explain why he would leave her, without any information at all. So, kind of glad they cleared that up. But overall, though, great episode with the thought process of actually letting people think Gray's going to be evil, even though we saw in the first episode they're all sitting under a tree thinking about how they're going to protect the fairy tale. So that kind of threw that off for me anyway. And if they did get you with it, bravo to them. I still honestly love the thought of seeing Urza in action going against these people that kind of now seem doo-doo because Natsu pretty much soloed three of them, and what's, two or three or four of them going to do to someone like Urza, who seemingly could have gotten stronger over all this time, which that is the true reason why it feels so good to hear her voice. We're going to see just how strong she is. We've been getting teased with every transformation that Lucy has done, which I think it's a little bit gonna be overdue for when Lucy transformed in front of Urza, for Urza to feel the same way or some type of way about it, So I can't. That's also what Fairy Tale's really good at, is setting up really stupid inside jokes that only if you truly like the show or you're watching carefully would understand these tiny jokes that they're setting up towards a bigger setup. So I can't wait. I'm surprised no one's really talking about this. Well, anybody that I have ran around YouTube seeing all the stuff that I see, I haven't seen any Fairy Tale really big reviewers or just any news on it. So I am happy to watch, and if anyone's not watching it, have you guys hear my reaction. We really just got all of that. Gray kind of tells Natsu that his cover's been blown, so now he can't even pose as one of them. So he's pretty much about to go in full Gray style with the fairy tale symbol on his chest, and Natsu, Lucy, all of them get freed. Urza being on probably where they're actually attacking. They're all probably gonna meet up with them, finish that off, and then we get to see just what this handful of group of ex Fairy Tale members can actually bring to this storyline further in, because as of now, there is no Fairy Tale besides inside of Natsu's heart. So, with that, everybody, I will talk to you in the next one. Thank you so much for the support. We will keep grinding. And if you don't know, you can get that bell ring a ding ding dong so you can be notified instantly when I drop my videos if you are interested in seeing any more of them, that is. Um, and also, I can't wait to talk to you guys in the next one. Every comment counts. I read everything. So thank you so much again. And with that, talk to you later. Peace.